Agents. I'm Sulkin65 with Raid Agents United, a global Division 2 raid team community. So we get asked all the time, what builds are recommended, or what builds do we like to run for the various roles in the raids, especially Iron Horse. There are many different methods and strategies to complete the raid encounters, so if you're watching, I'm sure you've probably watched raid build breakdown videos, but in today's video I wanted to take the opportunity to share the builds that I personally like to use. This will be the first in a series of raid build breakdowns. Some will probably be pretty standard, others are going to be builds that I've either come up with on my own or modified from others I've seen, mainly to maximize utility and to be tailored to specific roles along with my own playstyle. But if you're looking for raid build guides, especially ones for specific roles, you're in a good place. I'm going to go in order of encounters, starting with Iron Horse. So most commonly in my experience, raid teams are going to run a healer and the rest DPS with at least one Regulus one-shot build. The build I'm featuring today is the Regulus one-shot build. This build is required to perform the strategy that uses one player with this or a similar build to one-shot one of the 3 shield NPCs that spawn to the first boss.
Yeah.
As you probably know, this boss is a straight-up DPS check, and the idea is to open an industrial-sized can of whoop-ass on him and burn him down as quickly as possible. The faster the shield guys are eliminated, the faster the team can open up said can on the boss. If a second troop of shield guys spawns, that is a surefire indication that the can of whoop-ass your team attempted to open on the boss was not large enough. So, if the team DPS is there, you should melt him in about 10 seconds. So let's go over the build. So for the specialization, I personally went with the firewall for one main reason. It was one of the few, if only specs, if I remember correctly, that I have the pistol damage boosted. And I would say you can use whatever you like, preferably a specialization where you have your pistol damage bonus selected from the tree. And flamethrower is always fun too, especially on door spawns. For the weapons, AR is probably best all-around weapon in the raids, but use whatever you like because the build is centered around the Regulus exotic. I love Optimus talent, and so I'm running it on a FAMAS and a Marine Super 90. Of course, the must-have is the Regulus one-shot pistol that has the talent Regicide. Headshot kills grant a 5-meter explosion, dealing 400% weapon damage and applying bleed to all the enemies hit. And that's what you're going to need, because that one shot landed on the boss combined with the holster, as we'll see in a second, will deal enough damage to not only drop him, but the other 2 shield guys from the headshot explosion radius that happens when you get the headshot kill. For the mask, I would say pretty much a must-have for the 20% pistol damage as well as the 20% headshot damage. This is going to be a best-in-slot piece for the mask. A D&H named Punch Drunk mask with max weapon damage, headshot damage 20%. I have crit chance rolled and a 10% headshot damage mod. If you don't have your pieces or mods maxed, not necessarily a make or break for the build, just use the best pieces you have and happy farming. Next piece, the bag. Ideally you would want the gift, but a regular Providence defense with vigilance will work just fine. The only difference being that the gift disabling damage buff lasts for only 3 seconds instead of the 4. So it's basically a 1 second difference. Headshot damage and crit chance with a headshot damage mod. For the chest piece, the sacrifice, you're going to want crit chance and headshot damage with a headshot damage mod. Believe a regular glass cannon will probably work as well, but I would definitely shoot for the sacrifice if you can get one. And it's a little bit easier to get a hold of since it does spawn in open world, unlike the gift, which is a DZ only. For the gloves, there's a couple pieces you can use. You can use the Grupo, as I have here, with headshot damage and crit chance. You can also use the Contractor's gloves, as I have used, with headshot damage. Let's see if I can find it. I don't have them on this character, but you can run the Contractor's gloves with headshot damage rolled and they will work just as fine. The holsters must have weapon damage, weapon handling, and headshot damage on the Dodge City Gunslinger's exotic holster. And the talent is what's going to allow you to do all that damage. Quick draw while your pistol is holstered gains stacking buff every 0.3 seconds up to 100. When you swap to it, your first shot consumes the buff and deals 10% damage per stack. This deals the headshot damage to anywhere you hit. But we still need to get the headshot because that's a headshot kill is required with the Regulus pistol in order to do the explosion. So you can still do a lot of damage with body shots, but you will not get the explosion. And the explosion is what kills the other two shield guys for this role. And last but not least, best in slot piece for any DPS build, if you ask most people, the Fox's Prayer, and just get you some with headshot damage rolled on it. For the skills, that's going to be dependent on what stage of the encounter you're in and or what your raid leader is going to ask for. If I'm feeling froggy, I'll run a decoy. If I want to play it safe, I'll run a Reviver Hive. And when the boss shield guys spawn, I like to run Riot Foam, and as you'll see in the footage, the Riot Foam is applied very liberally. To the shield guys, you want to try and aim at the feet so you don't cover up their heads with foam and make it harder to find the head. That would not be good. I like to shoot it at the feet. I like to wait for the overcharge. Ideally, you should have the healer overcharging right before you're going to drop the shield guys, and you'll see in the footage how I like to do it.
You're the charging.
I just dead. Where are you?
Oh.
Gentlemen, time to teach these children a lesson. Keep me alive and I'll return them.
All right, let's take a look at the stats here. So the main focus here in the stats is going to be your headshot damage. Of course, the more optimized your build, the better. The more likely you will get the ad that you're trying to drop down in the first shot, which is the whole point. We want to look at what it is on the Regulus. 705, 180 weapon damage, 44 crit chance, 60 crit damage, and a whopping 245% headshot damage. Now, this ideally is what you would want to shoot for if you have min-maxed pieces and God-rolled mods. If you don't, again, happy farming. But I have seen it done with a lot less. Me personally, I believe I've done it with a minimum of 215% headshot damage. But as I said, if you have headshot damage rolled on all your pieces with 3 headshot damage mods, you should be fine. Give it a shot. Try it. Test it out. But yes, these are the stats. This is what you want to shoot for. 245 headshot damage. And if you can get a crit, that's even better. Always better if you can get a crit. So try to get your crit chance up to close to 50. You're not going to get it up at 50, but I'd say above 40 is good. At least above 35. So those are the stats. It's a lot of fun to use, and the headshot kill explosion animation never gets old. There's a lot of other great uses for specific spots in the raids. Of course, multiple ads spawning out of doors, especially because of the insane damage that headshot explosion radius does. But hopefully this build breakdown helps you put yours together. Happy headhunting with it. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe for more content, especially for the raids. And if you're an active raider or would like to be, please visit us at raidagentsunited.com for more info on how to join our active raid teams. Thanks again. Keep on raiding. Sultan65 out.